Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dream Team stream, or the 1 week wildcard as we like to call it. I hope you guys are all good. It's been a manic couple of weeks with some game weeks fastly packed together. Before we get Jason from Elite FPL in, let's take a look at how we got on last game week with you guys and Focus. Unfortunately, it didn't do so well. It didn't go very good, and I don't know how many we got, but I don't think we got many. I think Grealish might have snuck in, so let's have a quick look. So, no, he didn't actually, because Traore and El Ghazi outdid him. Wow, that's craziness. So, the Kings of the Game Week, or the Dream Team from last Game Week, was Schmeichel with 7 points, Thiago Silva with 14 points, Mino with 11 points, Fofana with 10 points, McTominay, I mean, where did he come from with his 18 points? Maybe Jace can tell us a little more about that when he comes in. Fernandez with his 17 points, El Ghazi with 16 points, Salah with 16 points, Traore with 13 points, Firmino with 16 points, and Tammy Abraham with 13 points. And that does mean that it looks like, although shouldn't Grealish be in there with his 20-pointer? Surely. That's weird. Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. It's put the vice captaincy on Grealish for us because we had Aguero as captain, didn't we? So that's what's happened there. Okay, cool. So yeah, we didn't have anyone in there. We went with Gaeta for the save points. That didn't really pay off at all with his -1. We had Holgate with his 2 points, Dyer, no points. Maguire, you know, we tried. There was definitely goals in that match, but unfortunately he was not amongst them with his 1 point. The Guard of the Vests, doing us proud in our team, but not making it to the Dream Team with just 2 points. Lookman with 2 points, Neto with 2 points, Grealish with his 10 points that we now know doubled to 20 as our vice-captain, Pulisic with 6 points, Kane with 2 points, and Bamford with 2 points. So, I think we can successfully say that the Dream Team has gone and done it again, guys. It has completely broken every player that we've bought. So, you know, actually, seeing as I'm unlikely to have Kane again this week and a few other players, maybe Grealish, maybe we could just keep them in here because whilst they're in the Dream Team, they tend to struggle to actually do quite well. So let's just say a quick hello to some people in the chat. Okay. We have Golden YT, welcome buddy. Anurag's in, Dizzy Dory, hey Dizzy. We have Jay in the know, my wildcat. Nick's in, love that. One Roger's vlog. Hey FK, and Migtavius and Optimum. I hope you're all doing good. Okay then, guys, I think let's get Jason in and have a little talk about how he's been getting on and sorting out this Dream Team for Christmas. So, okay then. Welcome, Jason. How are you, buddy?
Good evening. Hi, Nim. It's not even evening. It's like literally 4:45 in the afternoon, but it feels like 10 o'clock at night. It gets so dark. It was the solstice yesterday, and I've literally just been outside all day today, and been like really looking forward to this stream. It's been a while since I last spoke to you as well. Hello, everybody in chat. I hope you're doing really well. I hope you're getting loads of green arrows. There's a lot of faces in there, and nice to see Jay there, Mictavius, and many others. But yeah, thank you ever so much for inviting me on.
Oh, no worries. I've been meaning to get you on for a while, obviously, as you know. So, yeah, it's nice to be able to have you on this kind of Christmassy special, I guess.
I should have worn my Christmas jumper.
Yeah, you should. I got mine on. I got my sparkly box on.
I was... Maybe if we get a little break, you never know.
Yeah, I have to go to a break especially, so you can go get a Christmas gift.
Can we just pause the stream right now? I've got a really good Only Fools and Horses one.
Just text the other half to bring it to you.
yeah. Just do a quick wardrobe change on shift. Yeah, get the guns out.
Cool. So yeah, how has your season been going, buddy?
Pretty average, to be honest with you. I was kind of hoping to be a bit higher, maybe in the top 250, but I'm sitting just under the top 500k, 480 something thousand. Wow. So it's not awful, but it's not great. Putting pressure on yourself, because I do content creation on YouTube, even though I don't ever suggest that people take my advice seriously. I just play my own sort of game. I know Steve-O will be like laughing at himself, laughing at that, what I've said, because I'm calling my season average. He probably would call this his season absolutely dreadful.
Same.
But it's been a very strange season, Nim. There's been a lot of unpredictable score lines. There's been a lot of things on paper not paying off, and I think a lot of experienced managers that I know and follow, they've had similar sort of dilemmas with picking the wrong kind of players, which do seem sensible, but they just haven't returned for them. But has it starting to turn a corner now? We've seen Liverpool start to score big, and we've seen Trent getting in the points now. Obviously, Robertson's been very good. Is the star starting to align again for FPL, and people can actually put teams together on paper that can pay off? But yes, pretty much to answer your question, my season's going average, but there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, well, I mean, average. It's still pretty good where you are right now. We've got a long way to go. I mean, I'm probably more like in Steve's camp here. I'm having an absolute mare. Although I did just have a very good game week with 82 points, so can't complain about that. But yeah, still down in the 2 million, swimming around in the 2 million mark. So yeah, no, it's not going so great for me. But
when you hear me say I'm having an average one, you probably want to kick me, right?
Well,
Yeah.
But
I'll be
it's
quiet
all
now.
good. It's all relative, isn't it? I think that's the thing with FPL. It's all relative to you, and as you say, when we content create, we put so much pressure on ourselves to do well and all that sort of stuff that it's quite important that we feel like we're doing good, and that kind of causes a lot of anxiety and stuff, doesn't it? So
well, I think it's the relationships that we build with yourself, with your chat, with the leagues that you're in. You put yourself under pressure week in, week out, because you've got those rivalries that you build between people, with friendships, at the end of the day, the friendly rivalries, the banter that goes with it. So that, along with the overall rank as well, and the fact that you're projecting yourself on YouTube. So yeah, I think sometimes you kind of have to take a step back and not dive too far into it, because you can really kind of put yourself under a lot of pressure. And I tell you now, being out and doing a bit of DIY this week, I've not been thinking about FPL, and I feel so liberated, not having to panic, because what have we got coming up, Nim? We've got the blank, and we've got the double game week, which is stressing. I know it's stressing loads of people out, like loads of people in Discord, loads of people on Twitter. They're all talking about they don't know what they're doing. They don't know if they're going to be free hitting. They don't know if they're going to be just making transfers, and just kind of riding out game week 18, and then maybe using a triple captain. Are they going to be bench boosting? There's so many different
variables,
discussions. And obviously no one necessarily is right. There's a popular, the free hit and bench boost is growing traction to be the most popular, but that in itself, to prepare yourself for that free hit, you need to make sure that your team for game week 19 set up in advance. So by the time you free hit game week 18, you've got your 19 doubles are all in there. So there's still a lot of stress that's going on at the moment. So being away from FPL, kind of away from the football, and just being out in the garden whilst it's not raining is very nice. So I would recommend people to get fresh air every now and again. Get into your Christmas shopping, It's all good. 2 meters apart, masks on, have fun.
Well, actually, you've probably missed then that there's been some more confusion in all those blanks and doubles while you've been out DIY and
what, today?
Did you see, I think it was yesterday actually, that they've moved some of the cup games, so actually that blank and double isn't anywhere near as kind of clear cut as what it was before, just to
Wow.
make life even more difficult for everybody.
So you're saying all the people that were planning maybe a week or so ago are now having to kind of,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's still a case that it will be a blank and a double. It's just that I think there may be another one further down the line now. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Fun and games.
Yeah, it's gonna get real messy real fast, I think is probably the best way to describe it. But yes, just whilst you're here, before we get into this and start choosing the dream team for Game Week 15, just wanted to say congratulations on your gold award in the football blogging awards. So well done, or the
Thank
content
you.
awards as it was this season.
Yeah.
So,
How surreal that was. It's such a shame it was virtual, because I was really looking forward to that event, going there, meeting yourself, and everyone else that was there. Just gonna have to make sure we get voted in next year maybe, and we can all go. Because it's like I'll be honest, myself and Steve-O, we never considered ourselves being able to win it, being quite relatively new onto the scene. We kind of just was happy to be involved. We were just really happy that the audience that we've grown over the last couple of years put us in that position. I am looking forward to it. But yeah, it was weird that it was like virtual, because they kind of told us like a little while before, so we had to record.
You guys knew that, but I didn't know that there was like a silver and a bronze, so I had literally no idea when they called the bronze.
The lady actually emailed me, and then she was like, "Oh, I just want to say congratulations, you won gold award in the best in fantasy football video." And I was like, what does that mean? Does that mean we've won? And she was like, yes. I was like, wait, so we've actually came first? Because I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, hang on.
Are you sure?
Us. We've won. Are you serious? Like, come on. But really grateful. And it was just...
You deserve it. And you've got such a cool, like, loyal fan base. And, it's really nice to see them kind of, I guess like banding by, and that's really lovely. I think it shows you've got your little family, and that's really nice.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a footballing family. With everything that goes on in day-to-day life, a lot of people working full-time. I mean, I myself, it's been an absolutely stressful year at work. Just being able to kind of switch off, speak to people about football. I mean, I live in a household that doesn't watch football, in a work environment that doesn't watch football, weirdly enough. So I don't have any conversation about football until I get onto Discord, get onto Twitter, and speak to Steve-O and Dan and others. It's a great community.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, just a few more shout outs then before we get going. We have Roarin, welcome. Nuclear is in, Brian is in, Gina is in, MJ is in the chat. Hi everybody. I'm sure there was somebody else who I meant to point out there, but keep chatting away, guys, and I'll pinpoint you out with your choices as we go ahead. So Jace, let's get into it. Let's see if you can beat. We've only ever got 3 right. 3, so it's not a massive marker, but I'm telling you now, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Well, Steve-O always bands on about that I'm the luckiest person he knows at fantasy, but I don't think. Yeah, hopefully I can spread some of this luck onto your dream team.
Okay, Nonna would like
that. What's the first pick?
Okay, so you get to choose any player you want for this game week first. As the guest gets to choose
first name on the team sheet.
The first name on the team sheet and who to take out for it. So,
right, okay.
Have you had any thoughts?
Now I need to get your screenshot up. So I need to put you. So you need to put your team's now up on the screen, isn't it? So I can quickly see that.
Yeah.
The first name on the team sheet for me is got to be Mohamed Salah.
Okay.
Home to West Brom.
Going big.
Home to West Brom.
So now, last week we had this discussion, and it was a case of, shall we put Salah in? And I was very much like, maybe we should go with Mane because he's a bit more out there.
Well,
pick,
yeah.
you know?
I bet you were at the start of the game. I bet you were like,
yeah,
I would have been right. I would have been right.
Well, to be fair, I think it was we were unlucky not to have him get in. I think last game, it's just the likes of Fernandez and Salah and McTominay. Yeah, you're like McTominay. Where's he come from, Jace?
Well, he's box to box, isn't he?
I mean, Man United supporter.
The thing is with that game, everybody that watches Leeds, knows the way that Leeds play. Fast flowing football from back to front. They pretty much expose their defense in their kind of gun ho attitude. Bielsa ball. I said it in the streams before. I don't know if I didn't captain Fernandez. God only knows. I completely expected that game to be open. Did I think it was going to be that much of a goal fest? Probably not. But once the goals started coming in for United, Leeds didn't change anything. They still were trying to go at United, and therefore they didn't shut up shop. They didn't kind of just hold out, say, right, once the fourth goal went in, let's just calm down a little bit. No, they carried on playing. 6 goals go in. It was great. It was an absolutely beautiful game of football to watch, especially for the neutral. So yeah, McTominay found that space. I mean, from midfield, and that's the thing. And we've got players, Martial. He was picking out the passes. I mean, Bruno. We all know what he can do. And yeah, just what great strikes from him. I mean, he was very played pretty much out of his skin that game. Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, last game week, Salah made it in. Fernandez made it in. We didn't actually put them in the team, only simply because generally in the Dream Team stream, it's not always the obvious, like your likes of El Ghazi's and McTominay's and stuff.
You're going to kind of go...
Yeah, we always
sideways.
go a bit left field with it because it's more than likely that it'll be those players that'll surprise us and make it in,
Jack Harrison then. Jack Harrison.
Is that who you'd like to be your pick? I mean, we can go Salah if you like. It's absolutely up to you.
I didn't know. What if you want it to be not like kind of like the popular pick?
Yeah.
Then I think that Leeds Burnley game, I can see Harrison doing something in that. But much a fan of him, his ability to strike the ball, and Dallas as well. He gets into a lot of threatening areas outside the box, and I could see Jack Harrison getting something out of that.
Okay, cool. So, who would you like Jack Harrison to go in for? We have Grealish, Gross, Pulisic, Neto, or Lookman. Who would you like to lose for Harrison?
What you got in the bank? Or is it
a lot? We've got 6.9 in the bank, so you can pretty much take anyone out you want.
Probably looking at those at the moment, I would probably go with. I
mean, they're probably all changed by the time.
Neto. Let's take Neto out.
Take Neto out. Cool.
Yeah.
So what we do with this is that because it's so difficult to get 11 or any of the players, we do count if some of our players are on the bench as well and they make it in. We do count that as well, just to try and give people as much of a chance as possible to make it the Dream Team. So Harrison is in for yourself. Okay. Seeing as I'm not going to be able to afford him this week, I'm considering going with Robertson. I took Robertson out a couple of game weeks ago, Jace. Can you believe it? Yeah, I held on to him for so long, and I had those.
He's been like the only constant really throughout the season for Liverpool in defence.
It was KDB. I wanted KDB for that West Brom match, and the only way I could get to him was selling Robertson. And I just regret it. I regret it because it's changed the whole structure of my team. And now in order to get back to how it was before, it's going to take some right jiggery pokery. So, yeah, it's...
Are you going to take KDB back out?
I think he stays for Newcastle. I think I have to try and stick him out for Newcastle. But then I think after that, I do have a possibility where I can go, so my video that I put out earlier this week on this channel, guys, if you want to watch it, I do have an opportunity to go Wilson to Kane, KDB down to a 4.5 and play Sushek as a fourth mid most weeks, and then Lamperty up to Robertson, which is something I was considering doing this week, but of course it's just that Newcastle fixture with KDB that's slightly kind of like I'm holding on.
I can see that. What is it with City though? Like,
I don't know.
I just can't put my finger. It's just so strange. It's like they're just not. They're toothless up front, basically.
Yeah.
They've, without Aguero, we all love Aguero, don't we? Especially Nim.
Yeah, he's made it in a fair few times here. He should be playing tonight, actually. So there is something that I have noticed, being a fan of Aguero's, is that they always post on his Instagram like a little video teaser of when he's going to play. Obviously that it doesn't necessarily mean he's in the starting 11. He could be on the bench, but it definitely means that he's going to be like on the bench at least tonight, because they never post when he's not going, if you see what I mean, to the match. Yeah. So it's a kind of a bit of a giveaway, which is kind of helpful for us FPL managers. If I don't know about you, but coming off the bench, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I kind of been looking at the Aguero situation, because for me, Jesus, he's just not Aguero in any shape or form. It's like, it's quite obvious that they're missing Aguero, and I kind of want to be at the head of the curve when Aguero comes back, because he is going to come back fully fit and he's going to start scoring goals. Yeah. Are you thinking the same, that you just want to get in on those points ahead of time, or are you more kind of like, let's just wait and see how he does, let him get a point haul, then I'll consider getting him in?
Yeah, so actually Kurt, he takes the mick out of me, because usually I only need to get a sniff that he's starting again and he's back in my team, but this season I've been a lot more reserved with him, and I've tried like really hard not to just do it, and actually so far this season it's paid off, because of how his injuries have been. He's only really come back for a game or half of a game or something, and then he's been out again, so and there's a lot of pep roulette going on there, so actually it's stead me quite good this season to have been patient on him. So I think I'll just continue that going down the line this season in particular, and just make sure I know he's back and playing before I actually kind of rip up my team. That was my main reason for getting KDB in as well, though, is because we all know about that KDB Aguero partnership and them linking up, and when Aguero's on the pitch, KDB's output is usually a lot better. So I was thinking, well, at least KDB is the safer option here, and we can, then I can look to Aguero when he's in and playing more regularly. But obviously he's had those injury bits and pieces. But the other thing I have quite noticed with the Dream Team is something that I noticed when Mark was on a couple of weeks ago, is that because of how tightly packed the game weeks were after Mark being on, the Dream Team carried over a week. And when it carried over a week, we actually got 2 players correctly. So I think it's quite funny that we had Aguero in this team last game week, so it'd be just like Aguero to possibly show up this game week. Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I know you love him just as much as me. So
I've got so many FPL points from that man over the years. I really have.
Cool. So while we were doing all that chatting, my pick this week was, I've taken James out for us because of that injury, and I put Robertson in. So he was my pick. I know he's kind of obvious, but just like one out there, one obvious. So okay, let's go with our goalkeeper for the week. So guys in the chat, this is where you step in and try and help me and Jason choose the rest of the team. Give us some goalkeeper shouts for this week, please. Whilst I quickly have a look. So at the
only one name in my head.
Go on, Jay. Go on.
Martinez, like straight away.
Yeah.
It's against Palace. The guy is incredible. He's just been getting haul after haul. He blanked a few game weeks after I got him in, but he's just incredible. If you watch him play, he gets the saves, and yeah, I can't see anywhere past Martinez really.
So, do you own Martinez, Jay?
I do. Yeah, okay, I do.
So,
and Meslier.
So just so you know, there is a little known fact about the Dream Team, and that is that it tends to break players. So, so as you can see, having James in here last game week, Maguire and Gaeta as our goalkeeper last game week, who let in 7 goals. Are you sure you want to go with Martinez? Is all I'm saying, because he's also my goalkeeper. Well, and maybe we should be thinking of a more out there.
Maybe I am your lucky charm. Maybe I am your lucky charm. But if you are worried about that, then my second pick would probably be Meslier.
Yeah, okay. Good shout. I think I'm going to sneeze. All right. It's tickling. Okay, so Neves says Meslier. Yeah. Excuse me, there it is. I knew it was coming.
Dabbing. Liking it.
I knew it was coming. I can feel it. Hashtag live. Bless me. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so we've got McCarthy versus Fulham in the chat. Meslier or Fabianski is a shout from Jay. McCarthy again has come up. Just checking, McCarthy.
Jay really doesn't want Martinez to be picked, by the way.
Against Fulham. Yeah, he knows how the Dream Team curses.
The curse,
yeah. Okay, and so there's a lot of McCarthy shouts, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, who they got? Fulham, yeah.
It's not bad.
To be honest, Fulham, for me, they seem to be kind of playing like they need to survive now. They've kind of turned a bit of a corner. They possibly could get something out of that game against Southampton. I think that they'll be presented with a couple of chances, but will McCarthy get the saves? It's a good chance.
What do we think about Pickford up against Sheffield United? What?
I Pickford in at the start of the season, and my God, was that the worst mistake of my FPL career, having him. Oh my God. A goalkeeper that's literally does his best to score in his own goal. Like, he's literally like, he's the most frustrating goalkeeper to own in FPL. Like, if I used to watch, I had Digne and I had Pickford, right? And it was against West Brom, wasn't it? 5-2, game week 2. It's just, I just remember watching him. He's just flapping around and like butterfingers, like diving away from the ball. I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, I made a solemn oath to myself. Once I took him out, he's never getting in my team ever again. Ever. That's just my own personal view on Pickford. Sorry, should be nowhere near the England team. No, thank you. We've got better goalkeepers than that. Sorry, Everton fans, you need a new goalkeeper. But yeah.
Okay, no Pickford from Jason then.
Sorry.
But I think that's, who did I see? Somebody else mentioned Pickford for Christmas. Blondie. So yeah, so just jot that down, Blondie, and if Pickford comes in, then you can tweet Jason and be like,
"Oh, she's my nemesis. We're fighting. She's we're kind of close at the moment. So yeah, you go for Pickford, Blonde. You go for Pickford. Yeah, get him in for -4. Go on."
Okay. Okay, so Meslier seems to be a pretty good shout, or McCarthy. So let me get the goalkeeper.
Do you want an interesting stat?
Go on.
Guess that, how many clean sheets has Pickford got this season so far?
None.
No, he's got 2.
Ah, I was thinking it was really bad when you sold me up there.
Okay.
2. I mean, 2 is still pretty bad, but it's
2. I mean, 2 times he's scored over 3 points this season. 2 times.
Wow, that's crazy.
That to me.
That
he's
shows
garbage.
how much
Get him
people
gone.
are thinking of the fixture.
Get him gone. Stick him in the bin.
Okay then. So the next person to put in McCarthy or Meslier in the chat. That's who we'll be putting in as our goalkeeper. Go. Jason, if you could have any defender besides Robertson this week, who would you go for and why? Because I've already chosen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one defender I was looking at. I would probably go for a Man City defender. I know we talked about KDB against Newcastle. I think the Man City have got the quality to kind of see out that and keep another clean sheet. They seem to be doing so well at keeping clean sheets at the moment. So I would probably go with Diaz.
Yep, nice shout. And everybody agree with Diaz in the chat? Are we thinking Maguire to Diaz? Or Dyer to Diaz, maybe?
Well, yeah, I mean, Leicester United, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet in that one. So, yeah, Maguire to Diaz, not a bad shout at all.
Cool. One Rovers has put Stones in the chat as a bit of an out there one. Hi, Dan. Hope you're good, buddy. Yep. Diaz then seems to be winning out. Diaz for Maguire. Done and done. Are we keeping Holgate then? What do we think? Difficult one, isn't it? Pretty good.
Well, we are on a wild card, so you can. Well, I mean, it's that fixture, isn't it? Sheffield United.
Yeah, we may as well keep him for that. Okay, the guard of the vests, as we call him on this channel. What do we think of Vestergaard, people? Do we keep or sell? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Yes to keep. Sorry, no to keep. Yes to sell. So yeah, let me know yes or no in the chat. Should we sell him? Yes. Should we keep him? Let me know. I think I confused that. Just say keep or sell. Just keep or sell. There we go. Nuclear says keep. Set piece magnet. He did look quite good in the last match. How he didn't score, I don't know. No.
People in chat saying keep him. He's against Fulham.
Yeah, it's a good shout, actually. Okay, then. What do we think on Dyer? Eric Dyer. What do we think? Do we keep or sell Eric? And if we sell, who are we selling for? Well,
I hate to kind of. I'll make a suggestion because I hate to jump on the bandwagon, obviously with Dallas, but I own him and he's served me very well.
Okay.
Might be consideration. I know we've got Meslier in the team, but.
Hey, it's fine. We can always put Dallas on the bench and he can come in if he does good. So I like the sound of that for sure. Cool, I'm going to roll with that. Let's do it. Let's see if Jason can bring a bit of luck to that one. We've got too many Leeds players right now, so we are going to have to probably drop Bamford then, because Harrison was your pick.
Oh, yes. So, I didn't consider that, did I? Oh yeah, because we didn't go with Martinez. We went with Meslier, didn't we?
Yeah. So, unless you want to switch Dallas up, if we're keeping Bamford.
Well, what are the chat saying?
Let's have a look.
What are the chat saying about options for defenders? Is there any popular ones that are coming out?
We just got keeps and sells at the moment. What do you guys think? Keep Dallas. If not, who are we selling him for? Let us know in the chat, and we'll go on to midfield.
Whilst we're waiting for the answers,
yeah, whilst we're waiting for the answers. But yeah, if we're keeping or selling, which are the other? If we're keeping, then which are the other? Are we going to drop? Charlie Taylor is a shout. One Rover Vlog says
I was just looking at that. Well, he's against Leeds, so I don't think so. Yeah. We want Leeds to do.
Yeah.
We don't want to get rid of Bamford.
Says Soufal, possibly.
That's not a bad shout. Yeah. Soufal's a good pick, actually. I like that. Yeah. 3 people now saying Soufal.
Yeah, but I own him, so can we go like Creswell or something?
Oh, wow.
Creswell, Mig, yeah, I love that shout, Mig. Fred says Creswell is a shout, so an
interesting one from Blonde as well. Zuma being mentioned, but he's up against Arsenal. Yeah, pretty much a good chance of a clean sheet there.
Yeah, to be fair. To be fair, it's not good for us right now. Not good for us right now. Okay, so, in the chat then, guys, I'm going to narrow it down. Zuma or Chilwell, go. Let me know. And whoever gets the most will go in. So.
What's his fault?
Don't ruin it for me. Hey,
Sorry.
Optimus Prime. Nick says Balbuena cheap and good for corners. It's a good shout. Balbuena.
Not for me, but it's a consideration. I'm sure for some.
Or Zuma, I think. So let us know in the chat, guys. Okay, Grealish. Your thoughts on Grealish, Jace? Do you have him in your team?
I do. What a player! What a player!
Another one I sold for KDB.
Why?
It's just that fixture, that one fixture.
You just kind of destructed your team to bring in KDB.
Self-destructed it.
To be fair, KDB was absent for 80 minutes of that game. However, he put in like 3 or 4 crosses in, which both I think it was Gundogan missed 2 sitters, I believe.
Yes.
And was it Jesus for the other one? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, my point being, for 80 minutes he was absent, but for like literally 10 minutes he could have got 3 assists. Could have easily got 3 assists. So I think with KDB, keeping him in for Newcastle could return you those points that you missed out on last week quite easily.
Yeah. So Grealish has some tougher fixtures, but he has Palace next. I'm assuming we keep, right?
Keep, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, it's Sterling that missed the other one. Thank you, Meg.
Okay, so we have Zuma, we have Creswell, oh, sorry, I said Chilwell, didn't I? Yeah, Chilwell's injured. Creswell's what I meant. Sorry, it's too many season wells together there. So we've got a Zuma, we've got a Creswell, and we've got Zuma. So we've got 2 Zumas. Okay, Zuma it is. In he goes. Bish, bash, bosh.
Well done, Blonde, with that suggestion.
Yeah, just straight in there. Okay, Pascal Gross. He was a bit of an out there shout last game week. I'm assuming people don't want to keep him this game week, so let's take him out. That's 10.3
I'd rather
in the
bank.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. What are we thinking then in terms of attacking midfielders and how much we invest here? If I get the midfielders up. Obviously, we have the Salahs,
what budget have you got?
We have 10.3 at the moment, but of course we could shave some money, further
forward. What about my man Rashford?
Oh, love that shout.
Right?
Love a Rashford shout.
We're going a bit, kind of a little bit away from the template here, or moving a bit sideways.
And believe it or not, Rashford was Nonna's choice as the very first player in the dream team when we rang her up to speak to her on the phone.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so and as I'm not going to be with her for Christmas, unfortunately, as planned, because she will be going to get her vaccine, all being well. I love the shout of Rashford, actually, Jason. That's
he's got a smile on his face. He's getting goals, and United are starting to play with a bit of rhythm now. Yeah, could be a great pick.
I think we do that one for Nonna. Thanks, Jace. Okay, cool. So Pulisic, thoughts on Pulisic, guys? What do we think?
Let's see what they think. What do you think of Pulisic, Nim?
I think he's an
loves him.
Excellent player. Yeah, I think he just looks so strong. That injury really kind of messed up his flow, I think. It really stopped him in his tracks a little bit, and then it's taken him a while, I think, to really get back into the swing of things. And Frank has very much eased him back in, hasn't he? Hasn't really pushed the boat out on giving him loads of minutes.
I think with Chelsea, they're going to be a bit of a dark horse the second half of the season. I do see them coming really strong.
Yeah.
I think they have a very strong second half of the season, being contention in that top 4. And I think Pulisic will be at the heart of it. Do I think he's going to be this week? I was looking at his minutes that he's been playing.
I mean, I think he could, I think he could romp against us.
Well, put it this way, I'd rather have Pulisic than Timo Werner.
Yeah.
Personally.
I agree.
It's not a bad shout, but see what the chat's saying.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of keeps. Jay says Arsenal up next, so don't get rid. One Rogue's Vlog says keep. Mick says doesn't think he's at full speed yet, but Nuclear says unlucky not to have got a return. Can
I make a suggestion?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can, buddy.
Man City, Newcastle. All I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Do we not want a City midfielder?
Yeah, I mean, are we down?
Yeah.
We could downgrade Aguero to somebody and upgrade Lookman to a City midfielder, or do we think Aguero, keep him, see if he manages to?
The thing is with Aguero, I don't know if he's going to be fit. So for me, if I was on a wild card, I personally wouldn't get Aguero in because of that uncertainty.
Yeah.
However, I was thinking more like if we're going to go kind of a little bit off kilter with our picks, then maybe Mahrez.
Oh, Nick got in there just before.
Oh, he's just got there. Yeah, well, that's where I was going. That's that route, and then you change Aguero out to someone else. Maybe Martial. You never know.
Okay, well then let's do Aguero out and let's get Lookman up to Mahrez, and then we can look at it. I think that's probably a good way to go. Let's do it. Cool, and then 7.8 is what we have currently.
Yeah, so it's important to let the chat know, people are joining the chat. This isn't a wild card for the foreseeable, for going forward. This is as Nim says, a dream team sort of wild card, like players that we expect, to score well in this particular game week, and maybe that aren't, kind of the popular picks necessarily. Yeah,
the punty picks effectively, because what we're trying to do is guess as many of the kings of the game week as we possibly can, just on one game week with this one. That's why it's a 1 week wild card basically. So yeah.
Wow, I have to say, Salah Ahmed in the chat, absolutely.
What's he saying?
Well, but is it too mainstream to go Calvert-Lewin? Is it?
Oh.
Is it too? I mean, what is his ownership?
Crazy.
60%. We can't get Calvert-Lewin.
Is a much better shout for the dream team.
Wow,
he's made it a couple of times into the dream team. Richarlison.
There we go. Yeah.
So I quite like that shout. So people in the chat, Roderick has mentioned Richarlison. Let's have a yes or no on Richarlison, please. Do let me know. Assuming we're keeping Bamford, right, Jace? Give him another week.
I think so. I mean, his ownership is relatively it's 43%, but it's less than 50. So we kind of get away with that one, I think, Nim.
What our thoughts on? We have to have a couple of big guns in there, I guess. And they didn't do it. Kane and Bamford didn't do it last week. So I mean, there's a reason why everyone owns them. There is a possibility that they could make it this week, I guess. So
I like Nick. I like Nick's selection with Che Adams, but against Sheffield United, I think Richarlison, personally kind of edges it for me.
Okay, so we've got 2 Richarlisons, although Nevers does say Richarlison, don't jinx him. Nick says no, DCL is better. Nucleus says no. So we've got 2 and 2 at the moment. So we'll see if a couple more creep in. Let us know, Richarlison, yes or no. So I think Nucleus says Richarlison is lacking that attacking threat. Interesting. Bobby Firmino. is one that I did consider as my pick this week. I'm not gonna lie, I was like Robson or Bobby, like I was between those two. So
I think that was
I
a
love
one-off.
the craziness. I love the craziness of it.
It'll be another 3 months before he scores again.
So, according to Jace Seller, you'll have to jot that one down again, and if Bobby scores a hat trick this week, let him know.
Feel free to get on Twitter and put me straight.
Okay then, so I think Roderick has won it with Richarlison with his one yes, so we'll stick him in. And actually, we can afford him, right? We can afford him. Surely we can afford him. When is Rodriguez back? Oh, I think we have exactly the right amount.
Really, exactly the right amount.
Wow, it was meant to be. It was
it's
meant
written
to
in the
be.
stars, Nim.
It was meant to be. Right.
To be fair, I mean, yeah, Bobby Firmino, he scored. I forgot that he scored against Spurs, didn't he, in Tuesday the 15th of December in Gameweek 13.
Yeah,
I did forget that he got a goal there, and he got maybe we're not jinxing it. Yeah, if you're getting him in your team, you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? Is that people talk about him as being one of the like players for Christmas because he does always tend to show up, and I think he's been kind of aided a little bit by that whole Jota injury. I think that's kind of helped a little bit. I think the second he got his kind of time to shine, he's kind of gone a bit like,
I mean, as a football player, as a football player, he's such an important asset for Liverpool because he kind of gets the movement going, and he normally assists the assister, by dropping deep, passing it outwards, Henderson to Wijnaldum to Salah to Mane, and it's frustrating from an FPL point of view if you own him, because obviously he's doing that real tough role of kind of linking the midfield with the attack, and not necessarily running into the box. But maybe it is this Christmas festive period where he can get on the end of a few balls and sort them away. Last couple of game weeks, he's shown that he can score. So not a bad shout there. But somebody, Never's saying, West Ham being overlooked. Bowen, Haller, Benrahma. Haller for me, no, I wouldn't consider him. Bowen, maybe. I know Haller scored that ridiculous overhead kick, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That
was for me, that's just like a tear in the fabric of the Matrix or something. Like some weird thing happened. Like
something mad happened in the Matrix.
Spirit of Ronaldo kind of possessed him. That.
9.2.
Yeah, he's a lot of money.
We'd have to try and find the cash for him. Nah, we're sticking with Charleston, but Bobby is a great shout. So there's a couple there we need to kind of keep note on. If you mentioned, guys, do let me know. Just a -28. Wow. How much longer do we have before we have to use this wild card, by the way? Because I do still have the wild card in the bank.
You've got a couple of weeks, haven't you? No, hang on. You've got until game week. You got game week 16 and that's it, and then it resets game week 17.
Oh, we may as well use it, I think, because I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to do a dream team between 15 and 16. So let's do it. Let's do a Christmas wildcard. Actually use it. Wowzers.
Do it.
Let's do it. We've got 2 award winners on the show. Why not? Why not?
This is going to score big. This team's going to score.
Massive.
I'm going to say 90 points.
90, wow, that'd be nice.
90 points. There we go. Guaranteed all your money back.
Guaranteed all your money back. Okay, who are we playing then? Who are we playing this game week? Let's line our troops up.
This is going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry, obviously, because we'll still count the bench. But I mean, yeah, Diaz has to go in, surely. And maybe we take...
For Holgate.
Yeah, take Holgate out, I think.
Because Sheffield United, they can't score.
Maybe Zuma out, pop him on the bench. Vestergaard against Fulham. My gosh, this is hard.
This is tough. Rashford, what do we do? I mean, it's going to have to be Harrison, right?
In. Yeah,
Harrison
Rashford.
On the bench for Rashford.
Yeah. Agreed. To be fair, I don't mind that. I think that kind of works. Although, yeah, maybe we should take... I don't know, should we take Zuma out maybe and put Vestergaard or Holgate in? What's the
Arsenal could sneak a goal there, couldn't they, against Chelsea?
Well, one would be nice at least.
Yeah, sorry, Nim, obviously, because he can win.
Yeah, don't forget, man. It's not nice.
Fulham, Vestergaard. Both Vestergaard and Holgate have got great fixtures there on paper.
No, it's
but the
crazy.
attacking threat with Vestergaard possibly pips it for me. And Zuma would be the one in the firing line to go. So that's see what the chat say.
Yeah, let's see what the chat says.
What do you reckon, chat?
I think, terms of captaincy, we have loads of options, but I don't know if the chat wants to agree with me here. I genuinely think it might be quite nice for Nonna to captain Rashford for Christmas. I just think that might be a nice thing to do for her team.
Is your nan a Man United fan?
No, she's not actually.
Okay.
She just really likes Rashford because he does a lot, obviously, for the food banks and the kids and all of that sort of stuff. And she likes him for being a nice person. So
That's a good enough reason to captain him.
yeah. Simon saying hello to you, Jace, in the chat.
Hi, Si. How you doing, mate?
Okay, Zuma's got to be in there, people are saying. Okay, because Vestergaard best option than all 5. Wow, okay, cool. If any of these make it in, we'll be counting them anyway, so don't worry too much about the lineup. Okay, guys, yes or no on Rashford captain? And if we are going with Rashford for captaincy for Nonna, who will be watching, I think, Jace. So, it'd be nice for her. Who should we go for vice captain? So basically, who would we go for if we weren't captaining Rashford? I think would be nice.
Well, we brought Mahrez in on a punt against Newcastle. Mm-hmm. We've got Kane and we've got Charleston, we've got Bamford, all potentially big hitters there against their respective teams. It's really tough.
It is.
Grealish against Palace as well. I mean,
mixed comment. She likes him in spite of him playing for United.
Dan says, Nim, when will Arteta get the boot?
Oh gosh, don't. This is a difficult one because I'm torn. I like. Arteta. Are
you pro manager or pro players, pro man? It's because for me, it's it's the argument of who do you put the blame on? The manager, the board, or the players? And a lot of Arsenal fans are split in different camps. I mean, Arsenal Fan TV has never seen the ratings as good as they have seen recently. There's so many discussion points, but for me, I from an outsider point of view looking in, it's easy to lay the blame on the manager. Very easy, too easy almost to lay the blame on the manager. I don't think it's Arteta. I think that there's something further up the chain that needs to be sorted out personally. But what do you think, Nim?
So actually we had a massive I had a massive rant. Basically, we did a watch along stream midweek last week for the FPL Wildcats over on Twitch, and as Jay says in the chat, myself and Brett were pretty much in agreement that we feel like it's all of those things. Unfortunately, we do think from the top to the bottom there's issues. My kind of standout feeling is that Arteta has lost the dressing room a little bit with Aubameyang.
Team selection.
Yeah, I think Aubameyang, from what I've read and from seeing him on Insta and stuff, and his brother on Instagram and stuff, they seem to want Ozil to play. And Arteta is quite against having Ozil in the team.
What's the story there? Because I'm sorry, it was footballing reasons, right? That was cited as the reason for omitting him from the Premier League squad. There's obviously something personal between them.
I don't think we'll really know what the actual thing was. But I think that it's just that Aubameyang feels the team should be a certain way, and then Arteta is obviously trying to kind of get the kids involved as well. And I just see, when I see us in Europe and he's playing the kids and they want to play for him and they're doing really well for him, that shows to me that it's not really necessarily Arteta, although I feel like he's getting it wrong completely when it comes to the Premier League. So he's not really stepping up and saying, you know, it's my team when it comes to the Premier League and doing what needs to be done. Although,
you've not got that kind of captaincy role model in your team that people can look towards. Like,
no, because once Aubameyang gets down and his head goes down, that's it really. He just kind of gives up.
So KDB kind of drives the team forward, like Bruno Fernandes, you know. These sort of players kind of, they can turn games. You haven't got those, one or two players, or maybe Aubameyang, yes, but you said it yourself, once his head drops, that's it. The Arsenal just turn into a floppy mess, and then So players. Do you think that Arteta, if he does stay, will be given the finances in January to sort out those problems?
That's the problem. I genuinely feel like that's been the problem even when Wenger was there, is that he didn't get the cash that he needed, and it's been the same carrying on down the line. You know, the lads pointed it out perfectly when you guys are spending, you know, money on Fernandes, and Chelsea are getting players, you know, like Havertz and stuff like that for cheaper than what we got Willian for. It doesn't look great, really, you know. So it's... And the problem is we can't really while we have Ozil on the books. So it's a mess from start to finish. I don't see how we get out of it until something somewhere changes, and I think it needs to come from the top.
You can't see the light at the moment at the end of the tunnel, can you?
You just not at all. I could see us genuinely getting relegated.
Do you? So that's the question. The question I was about to ask you. Do you consider yourself in a relegation battle right now?
Yeah, I think we are, because I just don't see where the goals are coming from, and I don't see...
And your fixtures aren't very good either, are they?
No, they're not great, and
you know,
I don't
Chelsea
see why we sold Martinez. I mean, the lads will, like, you know, they fed up of me saying this, but I'm still sick to the back teeth of the fact that we sold Martinez. Like, the guy is just been epic, as you said earlier, with wanting to get him into this team. He is so good. And I've never really rated Leno. He's a good goalkeeper, but Martinez is top drawer at the moment. And whilst he was there, we were winning cups. Do you know what I mean? With him in the team, I don't really understand why the team changed from what we were doing when it was, you know, cup time to what happened when we started the Premier League. Like, it all just went downhill. And for me, it all started, literally, you know, when you see those tweets on Twitter when you're like, how it started and how it ended, literally, for me, it all started when we sold Martinez. And now how we ended is that we're in a relegation battle.
It'd be interesting to know how much of an input that Arteta had on that sale. Like, did he want him gone? For the money, you know, to free up the money to bring in other players, or was that part of the board that was thinking of cashing in on Martinez? We would obviously probably don't know for definite. Again, it's the whole dynamic, isn't it, with Arteta? I mean, from my point of view, the entertainment from seeing Arsenal fans going through this anguish is great. But I mean, I have sympathies, obviously, when United have had a few rocky times, you know, since Alex Ferguson left. However, we've kind of stabled the ship a bit of Ollie. There's been a lot of times where there's been criticism of Ollie, and I think managers should be given time, as long as they are compatible with the club. They should be given time. The question is Arteta compatible with the Arsenal Football Club, with the fans going forward? You know, once, and you said the dressing room as well. You know, you said it yourself. Once you lose those big names in the dressing room, start questioning why he's left out certain players, why he's chosen those players to start in those games. It's like, you know, you start to make yourself, you know, your job's kind of on the line at that point. So. Yeah, it'll be very interesting. The next few weeks will be very important, I think, for Arsenal. because not only with the fact where they are in the league, obviously with the fixtures they've got, but also when January comes, what do they do in January? And a lot of Arsenal fans will be looking towards the board to free up that money to get in some of those key players that they desperately need. Because you can't always rely on the kids. We'd love to rely on the kids, you know, but for cup games, but for Premier League football, we all know that it's a different kettle of fish when you throw people out in the Premier League. These games coming up for Arsenal, I mean, Chelsea's tough, but away at Brighton, that's no walk in the park. There's no easy games in the Premier League. You can't look at these fixtures and think, we've got a good chance. Away at West Brom, you look to win that.
Yeah.
They're gonna make life really hard for you guys. And then of course you've got in mid-Jan you're up against Crystal Palace, and so it's not, so you can get points in these games. Just get over that Chelsea game and get into January, see what happens. It's going to be a very important couple of weeks for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Jace, I'm not going to lie to you. It's been the first time since I've supported Arsenal where I don't even put on my shirt anymore to watch the matches. That's literally where I've got to with it. And with all the games that there's been and all that sort of stuff on at the same time and things, I find myself watching other matches and not even... And that kills me to say that, because I'm such a big Arsenal fan. But I literally have done the full range of emotions with them now. I'm just in that kind of, I can't be arsed with you stage. Like literally, like it's that sort of, I can't even be angry with them anymore. Do you know what I mean? I watch them, I get so frustrated with them that I don't even have the energy to be that way with them anymore. You
kind of resigned yourself to kind of just think, right, this isn't gonna be good. You kind of almost resign yourself to defeat before the game's even kicked off. Yeah. But is that because the identity's completely gone? Like the type of football that Arsenal have known to play, that fluid, passing and movement style play, it just seems to have kind of just gone. And when you watch Arsenal now, you don't recognise them.
Yeah.
Is that part of it as well?
It's just too many players as well that just don't feel like they're really trying. Do you know what I mean? I see Saka out there and he is busting his gut to do well for the team. He's doing everything he can. And then you've got Xhaka just walking around in the middle of the park doing nothing. It's
Pepe,
really...
Willian, what do you think of those players?
Yeah, I mean... I don't mind Pepe.
Because you did spend big on Pepe, didn't you?
We did. I don't mind him, but I feel like he's the type of player that needs to be given that time to play and to get into the groove, and he needs to be playing with the same players every week.
He was subbed off. Wasn't he subbed off the other day?
Yeah, I mean...
Why was he subbed off?
He plays in the Europa and he's smashing in goals for fun, I think he's a good player. I just think that he's not getting the link up and things he needs. And with that, I think he's just basically just getting a lot of sass. William...
Yeah, against Everton, he scored for you guys. He played 70 minutes and got subbed off, when you were trailing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's then when people look at Arteta and go, Arteta out, So it's tough. I think he's made mistakes. I think he's a little bit inexperienced. He's trying to cut teeth, with us. But he's, again, do you give him time so he learns from his mistakes? It's all very... That's just it. I just don't know, is the honest answer. But all I know is, as a fan... There's just nothing to even latch on to positively, Saka is a tiny light in a massive light.
This is a club with the history of Arsenal, with the resources that they've got. You expect more, and the players that they've got, you expect more. I mean, the position, the players that Arsenal have got do not deserve to be in that. Where are you at the moment? 15th.
Yeah.
In the table.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough. There's something seriously wrong and something needs to be changed. And Arteta knows that. And I keep going back and saying, the next couple of weeks is is going to be the next couple of weeks. I'm going to go as far as say is going to be defining for Arsenal Football Club.
Ooh.
Season defining. It could end up being the manager gone. It could end up being massive investment. It could go one or two ways. It could go massively down, or it could go back up again. And that's
it.
Yeah,
they got a choice now. Like the board needs to look at it, and they need to say, like, this is, like you said, this is our defining moment.
So I think that Chelsea game, you can kind of kiss that game goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we ain't winning that. Not a chance.
You know, January is going to be a reset for you guys if you do get Arteta gone. The new manager needs to be given money.
The only manager I would like right now, and the lads were saying the other night that they don't think he's come, but for me, the only manager I could see that would do a good job for Arsenal is Poch. And I genuinely would, you know, I'd probably welcome that because he's got experience in the Premier League. So
yeah, but anyway, you know, it's one of those things of nuclear atoms. This is not Arsenal fan team.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's a good point. So, you know, obviously Nim's, you know, Arsenal supporter, and you know, it's a good talking point.
Yeah, poor Glenn. He's like, please stop talking about Arsenal.
Yeah. We people would tune in to be depressed. But on lighter news, 90 points from that dream team this week. You know, all being well and good.
Yes. Hopefully, here's hoping anyway, for sure.
Yes.
So, Jace, what are your transfers this week? Let's talk a little bit about your team.
Well, I haven't made any. I've had 2 free transfers for the last couple of game weeks, and I've stupidly not done anything with them. So my last weeks for someone that's taken 64 points in hits this season.
Oh, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I don't actually know how much I've taken, but it's got to be up there with exactly the same.
I'm almost at the point where I was so happy with my team last week that I didn't make a transfer. I literally lost that transfer that I'd saved up, rolled over those transfers. For this week, I've got 2 free transfers. I've got the issue with Chilwell. I don't know how long Chilwell is out for, but because of the fixtures and because of the blank, he's not playing in the blank. And because I kind of want to keep him for game week 19. You know, that's the thing. I still am not sure. I'm still not sure what I do with Chilwell. My teams, I'm happy with my team again for this week coming. Really looking at it, the only weak
Give
link...
us a talk through on who you've got then at the moment.
I got Martinez, right? So what would you do, right? Martinez in goal against Crystal Palace, perfectly happy with. Walker-Peters against Fulham, perfectly happy with. Dallas against Burnley, perfectly happy with. Chilwell against Arsenal, which I was perfectly happy with. Son against Wolves, perfectly happy with. De Bruyne against Newcastle, perfectly happy with. Fernandes against Leicester, perfectly happy with. Grealish against Crystal Palace, perfectly happy with. Salah versus West Brom at home, perfectly happy with. Calvert-Lewin away at Sheffield United, perfectly happy with. Bamford at home to Burnley, exceptionally happy with. There's literally nothing. My bench, but Meslier, Brewster, Lewis and Mitchell. I mean, there's nothing that I want to do to that team for that particular game week. Like, yes, Chilwell is now an issue. I think what I'm going to do is, all honesty, I'm going to take Chilwell out probably, and I'll be dealing with Mitchell because Mitchell's no longer playing. Possibly bringing in Taylor and bringing in another one just to kind of shore up my bench for game week 19 and obviously going forward as well, because I would like to bench boost in game week 19. I'm not going to lie. However, it all depends on what the circumstances are over the next few weeks. I'm still not decided on what I want to do. To be honest, I really wish buddy. I was.
I know the feeling.
You know, what about yourself?
I'm just looking now because Animations says Chilwell looks to be out for 3 weeks on Twitter now. I'm just looking to see if I can find anything on that.
Looking at my options here. So if I was to get Chilwell out and Mitchell, who's a non-player obviously, and bring in Taylor for Burnley, I could bring in, you know what? I do like Soufal.
Bring him in. Your luck might kind of rub off on me.
Could bring in Taylor and Soufal, who are both playing double game week 19 and who have decent. We've both got decent fixtures, to be honest, and I'd have 0.7 in the bank as a result. Downside of being, of course, I'm missing out of Chilwell, but I've also got Lewis in there as well, which I can kind of adjust with money and possibly, dare I say it, look at getting some money out of midfield, possibly from Grealish to bring in to Chilwell again for that double game week. So yeah, I'm possibly going to be doing Chilwell and Mitchell, a 4.0 that's useless, for Taylor and Soufal. That's possibly what I'm going to do. I'm playing and then playing Soufal and benching Taylor.
So yeah, I'm seeing a couple of things here. Chilwell out for Arsenal and City as a blow. Possibly rested against Villa. So yeah, it looks 3. What's your thoughts on moving him directly to Zuma?
It's an option. It is an option. How much money will I save by doing that? What's Zuma's price?
I don't know how much you bought and sold him for.
So I can sell Chilwell for 5.8. So Zuma is... How much is Zuma? It's got to be around the 5 mil mark, right? 5.3, 5.4?
Yeah.
5.8. Oh, my life. Yeah. It's a straight swap. It is a straight swap.
0.3, roughly, yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. I want because I've got the two free transfers, and because of the double game week that's coming up, I kind of want to flesh my team out ready for that double game week.
Yeah.
And by getting rid of Mitchell's a problem I'm going to have to deal with anyway.
Okay.
So
I've got a question for you. You've done a lot of quizzing me this game week on Arsenal, so I'm going to come back at you with some FPL questions here.
Oh, please don't.
You came out here with your team, and I'm not hearing. I think I heard any Spurs players in that team.
I've got Son.
You got Son. So what is your thoughts on Kane? Because I'm in the position here now where I can either -4 with my 2 free transfers and make 3 transfers and get in Kane and Robson. Or I can go Wilson to Bamford. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have to make a decision, I think, on one of those two. Because before, I was just going to maybe do Wilson to Bamford and roll my other transfer and then think of it one more week down the line. But
what was Kane?
Obviously
what would be the Kane transfer out free money up for? Sorry? For Robertson?
Yeah, well, I mean, KDB would have to go this week if I wanted Kane. But if I just wanted to do Wilson to Bamford and then Chilwell to any of those options.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't own Kane at the moment.
I don't know.
You own Son?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't be throwing money in Kane in attack if you got Son. I think one's good enough.
You think so?
The fixtures. I think the fixtures. I do, but I just think that it's a lot of money in a team that where a lot of people are clamoring to get a lot of premium midfielders at the moment. I mean, yes, we see people that own Jamie Vardy, we see people that own Harry Kane, but they have only got 2 premiums in midfield. Whereas I'm able to squeeze out with Calvert-Lewin and Bamford in my attack. Yeah. With a cheaper defense, I'm able to squeeze out that Fernandes, De Bruyne, Salah, Son combination.
Yeah, definitely.
I think for that price point, points per price point, I feel that midfielders still offer way more. Even though Kane has been very good, I mean, the partnership with Son by far outshines Kane for me. His finishing, his movement. Kane's passing's been good, but the points, let's be honest, the points come in and Son's the one that's scoring and getting assists. He gets more points, he gets that potential clean sheet point as well. Yeah, Son for me. And I wouldn't be throwing money into Kane personally. However, I would never if someone told me that they got Kane in, I wouldn't be like, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, fair enough. It's just a different strategy going forward. Different way of moving your funds around.
Yeah, for me, I was thinking more with going Wilson to Bamford. I was thinking I'm covering more on that double, But then it's like you have to think with Kane, obviously, against Sheffield United, that it's that thing that it's like, could he score more in a single game week than what Bamford could over 2 game weeks? It's
yeah, you could do that, but then how many? The thing is with Bamford, you know he's going to get chances. Like, he will get chances. And you think over 2 game weeks, the amount of chances he's going to get against those teams.
Yeah.
I think there's at best, I think that they will kind of probably even themselves out. And you're not spending that money on Kane.
Yeah. It's just I like my midfield as it is. I don't really want to change it. I mean, I'm only Grealish down on you at the moment. So I've got exactly the same mid minus Grealish, basically. My 5th mid is Soucek, where you've got Grealish. And that is the difference in me having Che up front compared to... I've got Che, Wilson and Calvert-Lewin at the moment.
Yeah, so I've got Bamford, Calvert-Lewin and Brewster, who's obviously not getting any starts at the moment. So
that's kind of pushing your price. You're taking that money from Brewster and putting it into midfield, where I've got Soucek in order to have Grealish. So
yeah, I mean, I've historically played a 3-4-3 It's quite a popular formation for me to play, to be honest, 3-4-3, but I've kind of now swayed myself to the 3-5-2 because of those penalty takers and big hitters in midfield. You know, I look at Grealish, he is the heart of Aston Villa. I look at Salah, he's the one that's in form. He's the one that, you know, gets the points. He's on penalties. I look at De Bruyne, again, he's the driving force behind City when they do per. Fernandes, well, I don't even have to say anything about him. Son, we all know what he's done this season. So those 5 players, I can't think about getting rid of. And it's almost like I look at the fixtures and I don't care. Because I know what they can do.
Yeah.
But it's going back to this stress that people have got over game week 19, game week 18. What do they do to their teams to improve them ready for those fixtures and for that blank and for that double? This is why people are going to have dilemmas. They're going to be torn inside, but getting out some of these players to make money, to free up funds, to get in the likes of, you know, you talk about Kane, who's actually not getting a double, he's getting a single. Of course, he could score the same as Bamford, as Calvert-Lewin, as Grealish. The thing is, you just want 2 bites of the cherry. That's what I want. I want to have 2 bites of the cherry. So I want to get as many double game week players in as possible, ready for that free hit game week 18.
So you are sticking with KDB regardless.
That's a very good question, because he's not playing twice, is he? In 19, he's only playing once against Crystal Palace. So it's that. Do you go for a 15 double game week players and then bench boost, or do you keep those select players that you know could easily get double figure points in one game? I mean, Crystal Palace, you know, that could be anything. But I'm hoping by that point... We need
another look at City, don't we? We really do. Especially
we've got a few game weeks. We've got a few game weeks to kind of sample what sort of City are heading into that game. They are behind Liverpool. They want to keep the pressure on Liverpool. It's a very open league at the moment. They need to kind of get the performances out of the bag. And looking at the fixtures are there. I think that he'll be one of the last that I consider to move out for a double game week player if I do. Like, if we get to game week 18 against Brighton, it's City 0, Brighton, I don't know, say for example, City win 1-0 and it's like a Diaz header or something like that, or some obscure player scores for City and KDB's not involved in it, then I'll be more comfortable of transferring him out than, of course, if we've got, you know, the old Man City backers scoring 3-4 goals a game sort of thing. Then I'll be like, right, he's staying in for that double game week no matter what. And I'll build my team around him, and Son, who is also, you know, got great fixtures as well. You know, we've got the double game week players that we're all going to want in. We've got the West Ham players. We've got the.
So you're going to free hit in 18 then.
Likely to, and I'm wanting to bring in Robertson as well, and it's like the whole thing. You can't have them all. But
yeah, I was going to say, where are you getting your money from your likes of Robertson or Brewster in order to, you know, use your bench
that's
boost?
it. Yeah, that's it. You're right. And this is the thing. You know, you've got to be very careful. Be like, right, I've got a plan. I'm going to get rid of this player, and free up this money. Even though they've got a single game week, like I said, they've still got very favourable fixtures. But also you've got the value that you've got in them, tied in with them. So if you say, right, it's all very well getting rid of them for that for that double game week because they're only playing a single game because you're going to bench boost. But if you've then lost, say, 0.5 million, 0.6 because you've sold those 3 players, which you've now devalued your team, which you're probably going to want back in your team at some point, especially in the second wild card. It's a big dilemma to have, and there's lots of variables, and there's no magic wand. There's no answer to this issue. Like, you've literally just got to go through each player, at each price point and each fixture and think, right, if I'm going to bench boost, am I happy with having 4 or 5 players that are playing single games? Personally, yes, I am happy. As long as I've got those players that are like pivotal to their, the players I've just mentioned, then I am happy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
But freeing up that money is going to be hard. Nim.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think KDB gets Newcastle for me, and then I'm going to really seriously look at it, especially if Aguero plays that Newcastle match and I get to see them two in action together. And if I genuinely feel it would need more than an assist for me to keep, because just of how weighty he is cash wise and what that can get me in terms of elsewhere, especially when I am. Before he came in, Grealish was in his spot, and he has matched KDB the last 2 game weeks for a lot less money. So, the thing, obviously, as you say, I don't think Grealish has the double, does he? So that's something to think about. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna go 15 double game week players. I just can't see me being able to get to that, to be honest.
No, and I think I've come to realize that as well.
Yeah. So it's going to be difficult. I think we all have to be a bit flexible, definitely, with our decisions at the moment, because anything could happen between now and then, and any of the players that we think are good now might not be that great by the time we get around to some of them. And obviously with the cup now having been moved as well, we need to have a little look on those 20 something game weeks as to whether they might be better options for some of the chips. But, I don't think there's any harm in going with that particular strategy anyway, but then maybe not like committing yourself to having a full massive, team double. But I think it is comforting to hear somebody like yourself where you are say that you're happy to ride without Kane, because I think he's been my main concern, because it feels like every time Spurs or every time Kane scores, because of how highly owned he is, it does seem to hurt my rank a fair bit. But, I definitely can get a lot more with having the likes of Bamford there instead of Kane, So...
Yeah, and Leeds, that type of team that are just so gung-ho, and they just go forward, they attack, and they provide chances. And there's nothing better than watching a player play that is in your FPL team that's just getting crosses, getting passes. They all look to feed, they all look to supply Bamford. Yeah. And he's shown that he's not as wasteful this season as he has in previous seasons. So, in the Championship. So yeah, I completely subscribe to that. That value for money aspect to those strikers.
Yeah, when I look at Wilson and I look at Bamford, I know there's not many points in the pair of them, but like for me, every week it feels like when I'm watching the games, I'm quite frustrated with Wilson, and I'm seeing Bamford kind of, whilst I can see he's quite a frustrated player to own. It's a frustration in a different way. With Wilson, it's more that people aren't really getting him the ball, and that, when he is one-on-one, he's like, it's not very often that he's getting those, but it feels like he's not getting those chances. And then he's got 3 much tougher fixtures now coming up as well. Whereas Bamford's he's a bit cheaper for a start, so it gives me a bit more cash. And it does leave me in a situation where I'm watching Bamford each week and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to score, and then I see him running in again, I'm like, oh my God, and it's literally, and whenever they score, I'm just like, it's Bamford again, isn't it? And I mean, I know he didn't do it last game week, but he could have done several times over. And I know he must be frustrating to own, but it must be a lot of like good, interesting as well, sort of thing.
I think in one set, in literally one paragraph, the way I look at it is, I would much rather a cheap striker be in a team that doesn't sit back and soak up blood pressure over 90 minutes. I'd rather my cheap striker be in a team that just literally goes cavalier, goes out to try and get goals. And that's what Leeds do.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, that's it. That's a matter of fact. He's going to get chances. He might not score. You know, he might need 4 or 5 chances to score a goal, but he's going to get those chances in a game. And I'm just really happy owning him, and I don't have any consideration to take him out.
Yeah, no, fair. Just want to say a quick hello to John in the chat, and somebody mentioned about why doesn't this team have Salah. I think we're just taking a bit of a punt, as this is a 1-week wild card. You know,
doing something different.
Yeah, just trying to go a bit out there with our picks this week. So that's it, you guys. That's it for Christmas. Thank you so much, Jason, for joining me. Anyone who wants to go check out Jason's channel that doesn't already, then you can do. The link is in the description below. Do go like and subscribe over there for him and Steve-O's streams are very good, award-winning. And as myself, if you're enjoying the stream, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. Every little helps for sure. And yeah, I will try and get back next week between the game weeks, but I think it's going to be tough with the Christmas period, so maybe after the new year hit now. But it's a big happy Christmas and a happy new year from myself if I don't see you. And would you like to say goodbye there, Jace?
Yeah, massive thank you for everyone that's tuned in from the Elite FPL community as well. Make sure you hit up Nimfria on social media, and of course subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when she goes live and she uploads videos, because I've said it all along, she puts in so much time and effort into everything she does. She deserves all the praise and all the credit she gets, and more praise and credit. I mean, she literally does so much work. So a massive thank you for you guys for being here. Massive thank you, Nim, for inviting me on, because it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a really relaxed session, talking about FPL, talking about football, talking about Arsenal, a bit of everything, and that's always great.
And your shed.
And the shed is in place.
Jealous.
The insulation is there. I just need to get the plasterboard in, the flooring in, the electrics in, and I've actually got a home. The Shedford end is actually coming, guys. It's actually happening.
I'm actually going to be hiring Jason to come build mine, so I've got a she shed in the back garden. Shed it's a great thing. You know, it's you've got the space in the garden for it. It's just perfect. Yeah, it's there. It's waiting. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you again for that, Jace. I really appreciate it. You know, from the very beginning, we've, you know, been there on the FPL ride with each other for sure. I'm a big fan of your guys' channels, and we have to get Steve-O on and see if he manages to beat you.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to watch that. You've supported us since the beginning, and I really appreciate that. No worries. You know, it's, for me, small, big, no matter what in the community. Yeah, it makes no difference, right?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to kind of stick with each other, because we're on the same boat. Nobody's bigger or better than anyone else, you know. So that's,
we're all rivals, though, Nim. We are all rivals, right? Right, blonde. Kind
of, maybe, you know. Not when you're doing badly. We're all mates.
Oh yeah, we're doing badly together. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Okay then, guys. So have a great Christmas, and we will see you soon. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Jason. He's got his cool glasses on.
See you later, chaps and ladies.
Bye, guys.